For more than a century, the stretch of ocean between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, known famously as the Bermuda Triangle, has been blamed for disappearances that defy logic, science, and sometimes even reality. Ships vanish without sending distress calls. Planes drop off radar. Entire crews disappear, leaving no bodies, no wrecks, no answers. What is really happening in this mysterious part of the Atlantic? Is it natural phenomenon? Secret military experiments? Aliens? Time warps? Or something far more shocking? Today, we dive deep into the Bermuda Triangle mystery and uncover theories, history, science, eyewitness accounts, and finally, what might truly be the secret behind the triangle. So sit back, subscribe if you enjoy mysteries and deep dives, and let's journey into the unknown. Long before the Bermuda Triangle became a modern mystery, this region carried a dark reputation. Even Christopher Columbus, in 1492, wrote in his diary that his compass behaved strangely near Bermuda. He described seeing mysterious lights flickering over the water and wrote of strange dancing flames descending from the sky. But what gave rise to the modern legend? The answer lies in a single event that shocked America and became the foundation of the Bermuda Triangle story. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers, collectively called Flight 19, took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a routine training mission. Nothing about the flight was unusual. The weather was fine. The planes were in good condition. The crews were experienced. Yet something went terribly, inexplicably wrong. As the flight progressed, the leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, radioed command. "My compass is not working. I don't know where we are. Everything looks strange. The ocean doesn't look right." Minutes later, another strange transmission came through. "We can't tell where we are. Everything is wrong. We may be lost." Then silence. All 5 planes disappeared. A rescue plane was sent out to find them, and it vanished too with its 13 crew members. In total, 6 aircraft and 27 men disappeared, and not a single piece of wreckage was ever found. This was the moment the Bermuda Triangle became infamous. Flight 19 wasn't a one-off case. Over the decades, dozens of strange disappearances have been recorded. Let's look at a few of the most famous ones. 1. USS Cyclops, 1918. A giant U.S. Navy ship carrying 309 men. No SOS, no debris, no explanation. To this day, it is the largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history, and nobody knows where it went. 2. The Witchcraft, 1967. A cabin cruiser with 2 men aboard. They called the Coast Guard saying they had a minor issue but were not in danger. When rescuers arrived 19 minutes later, the boat had utterly vanished. 3. Flight DC-3, 1948. A commercial passenger plane with 32 people aboard. Radioed that everything was normal. Next minute, gone. No wreckage. No bodies. Nothing. 4. Carroll A. Deering, 1921. A 5-masted schooner found completely intact, but the entire crew had disappeared, like they simply walked off the ship. These cases and dozens more created a chilling question. Why does this one region of ocean behave differently from anywhere else on Earth? Before we jump into alien bases, time portals, or Atlantis, let's understand something simple. The Bermuda Triangle sits on one of the most volatile oceans in the world. 1. The Gulf Stream. A massive, fast-moving ocean current flows directly through the triangle. Anything that sinks or even floats can be carried away at high speed. 2. Deep ocean trenches. The ocean floor here drops to over 27,000 feet. Deeper than most black boxes can survive. 3. Sudden storms. Storms in this region can appear out of nowhere, almost instantly. 1 minute calm, the next minute 100-foot waves. These natural features alone could explain many disappearances, but not all of them. There are cases of planes losing all instructor, instruments at the same time, ships leaving no debris, electronic failures, navigation systems behaving strangely. Something else might be happening. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the rare places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align, causing unusual compass behavior. Sailors for centuries reported compasses spinning uncontrollably, instruments malfunctioning, navigation systems giving impossible readings. Even modern pilots have documented brief but extreme electronic interference in the area. But is this enough to make entire planes vanish? Maybe not. So let's go further. Below the seafloor of the Bermuda Triangle lie large deposits of methane hydrates. When these methane pockets suddenly burst, the ocean can become highly unstable, less dense, unable to support a ship's weight. Scientists demonstrated this with experiments. When methane is released underwater, the water becomes so foamy that ships literally sink straight down without warning, leaving no trace. Even planes flying above could stall if large methane bubbles reach the surface and enter engines. Could methane explosions explain the Cyclops, Flight 19, or other vanishings? 2001. Possibly, but not researchers reported discovering unusual underwater structures so we look near Bermuda that resemble. Some pilots reported bizarre experiences that circular build out of science fiction. Geometric layouts. Some speculated it could be the lost city of Atlantis, pilot named Bruce Chernon claims that in 1970, others believed through a strange electronic formations. His instruments the idea of ancient forgotten planes buried under radar jumped ahead with unknown effects and somehow magnetic he covered a 250-mile flight in only 47 ancient minutes. Energy sources something impossible for his aircraft beneath the ocean. He believed he passed through a time distortion or navigation. Other pilots have speculation, tunnels but it's a theory many believers unexplained acceleration. Now we move into one of the most popular and controversial theories. Is the Bermuda Triangle a doorway to another dimension, unidentified submerged wormhole? There are hundreds of eyewitness reports. There's no scientific proof. Strange lights, but the eyewitness reports are chilling. Objects moving underwater faster than any known submarine. Aircraft tracking unknown craft disappearing into the water. Some believe the Bermuda Triangle may be an alien base, an underwater habitat, a portal where extraterrestrials move between dimensions. Is it evidence? Not proven. But the sheer number of sightings in the region is difficult to ignore. Another theory suggests the real secret isn't mystical at all, but military. 1. AUTEC. The U.S. Navy operates a highly secret facility near the Bahamas called AUTEC, Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center, often described as the Underwater Area 51. A submarine and weapons testing ground, a location for classified technologies. Some ships and planes that vanished in the triangle were near AUTEC's testing areas. Could classified experiments be involved? Acoustic weapons? Electromagnetic technology? Submarine activity? The government denies any connection, but conspiracy theorists believe AUTEC plays a big part in the triangle mystery. Before we reveal the final conclusion, we also have to mention something important. A lot of Bermuda Triangle stories when researchers dug deeper, they found some ships were never actually in the triangle. Some cases had simple explanations. Some disappearances were caused by storms or mechanical failures. Some stories were completely made up by writers. In fact, the U.S. Coast Guard says there is no evidence that disappearances happen more often in the triangle than anywhere else. So does that mean the Bermuda Triangle is a myth? Not exactly, because some cases still have no explanation at all. When researchers dug deeper, they found some ships were never actually in the triangle. Some cases had simple explanations. Some disappearances were caused by storms or mechanical failures. Some stories were completely made up by writers. In fact, the U.S. Coast Guard says there is no evidence that disappearances happen more often in the triangle than anywhere else. So does that mean the Bermuda Triangle is a myth? Not exactly, because some cases still have no explanation at all. When researchers dug deeper, they found some ships were never actually in the triangle. Some cases had simple explanations. Some disappearances were caused by storms or mechanical failures. Some stories were completely made up by writers. In fact, the U.S. Coast Guard says there is no evidence that disappearances happen more often in the triangle than anywhere else. So does that mean the Bermuda Triangle is a myth? Not exactly, because some cases still have no explanation at all. When researchers dug deeper, they found some ships were never actually in the triangle. Some cases had simple explanations. Some disappearances were caused by storms or mechanical failures. Some stories were completely made up by writers. In fact, the U.S. Coast Guard says there is no evidence that disappearances happen more often in the triangle than anywhere else. So does that mean the Bermuda Triangle is a myth? Not exactly, because some cases still have no explanation at all.